The knights march on, their steps heavy with the exhaustion from the last battle. The mist, which had lifted after Zelgor's fall, now returns with renewed density. It crawls along the ground, clings to their armor, and steals their sight. The path ahead winds through a narrow gorge, framed by two towering mountains, whose peaks disappear into the darkness. The only way forward is straight ahead, but an unsettling feeling settles over the group. It is too quiet. No breeze. No whisper of the spirits. Only the sound of their own footsteps on the cold stone.
I don't like that.
One of the knights murmurs, his voice quieter than usual. Another nods, his grip on the sword tightening. Every instinct within them screams that they are being watched. And then, a glimmer. At the end of the gorge, where the cliffs open up, a light suddenly pierces through the mist. A radiant, unnatural glow, pulsing as if alive. But as their eyes lock onto it, the impossible happens. From nothingness, a second presence emerges, a shadow that devours the light. One of them is Ether, a radiant being clad in armor forged from pure energy. In his hands, he wields a massive light lance, its blade shining brighter than the sun itself. With every step he takes, the air shimmers, as if the very world around him is cleansed by his mere presence. Yet in his luminous eyes, there is no mercy, only unyielding determination. Beside him moves Nyx, a being of shadows, barely perceptible to the human eye. His form shifts constantly, as if he were a fragment of the night itself. In his hands, he wields twin daggers of pure darkness, casting no reflection and seeming to devour the light around them. Wherever he walks, the shadows follow, as if they are a part of his very being. The two warriors stare at the knights in complete stillness, their existence in perfect balance, light and darkness, creation and destruction, purity and ruin. Then, a voice echoes from the void. Azrael.
You have come further than I expected, but your journey ends here. These cliffs are the grave of the foolish souls who dared to challenge me.
A cold laugh echoes through the swirling mist.
Nyx and Ether were once mortal warriors, guardians of an ancient order that dared to defy me, but they saw their folly, embraced the truth, and now they serve me, immortal, unstoppable. They are my sword and my shield, light and shadow, created for a single purpose: the annihilation of those who stand against me.
Nyx and Ether raise their weapons. The energy around them begins to pulse, light and darkness merging as a powerful gust sweeps across the cliffs. The knights realize they are not facing mere warriors, but forces that threaten the very balance of the world itself.
Stepping into the fray, Flower Princess uses level 3 Cloud and throws a metal-fisted magical punch towards Nyx. Solid hit, 209,120 damage. Nyx's luck decreases by 60%. Nyx now has 47% of his health points left. A bright radiance spreads as Ether unleashes his divine power. Divine light floods Nyx, healing him for 100,000 health points. Now Mad Anthony prepares. He quickly grabs a thorium spear and hurls it with force at Ether. The spear partially pierces through Ether's armor, reducing his defense by 15% and inflicting 162,469 damage. Nyx dissolves into darkness and vanishes. Suddenly, Nyx emerges from the shadows and lands a swift stab on Flower Princess. 980 damage. Now Khmer Warrior prepares. With a surge of arcane energy, Khmer Warrior conjures 3 exact replicas, all clad in the same battle gear. Now Andarna prepares. He quickly grabs a thorium spear and hurls it powerfully towards Nyx. The spear partially pierces through Nyx's armor, reducing his defense by 15% and inflicting 345,049 damage. Nyx has been defeated. Now God of Thunder positions himself. With swift motion, he executes a level 3 cloud against Ether. Solid hit. 133,100 damage. Ether's luck decreases by 60%. Ether now has only 26% of his health points left. Now Flower Princess prepares. In a burst of magical concentration, Flower Princess duplicates himself, creating 3 mirror images to stand with him. With a swift movement, Ether lifts his glowing lance and aims it at Andarna. A radiant beam of light shoots from the tip, pierces the darkness, and flies with unstoppable force toward Andarna.
Here!
With a quick movement, Andarna moves to safety, and the beam misses its target. Now Mad Anthony prepares. He uses a level 3 bandage to restore Flower Princess's health. 980 health points have been restored. Now it's Khmer Warrior's turn. In an unguarded moment, he stealthily lays a level 3 trap. Now it's Andarna's turn. With a swift strike, he aims for Ether. Critical hit. 388,270 damage. Ether has been defeated. The knights have triumphed in victory. All knights have risen 2 levels.
As the second twin finally collapses with a tormented cry, an eerie silence falls over the ghost cliffs. The unnatural bond between them shatters, their spectral forms beginning to fade. A cold wind sweeps across the battlefield, as if the very mist had held its breath. The knights stand among the jagged rocks, their weapons trembling in their weary hands, their breaths ragged from the brutal fight. But in their eyes, there is more than just exhaustion. There is the flicker of a hard-earned victory. The twins, once thought to be the unyielding guardians of these cliffs, have been defeated. Just as they begin to collect themselves, their gaze falls upon something unusual between the stones. Where the twins have drawn their last breath, the rocky ground begins to shift. Slowly, a chest emerges from the earth, wrapped in dark energy, as if the very land had only now chosen to reveal its secret. Cautiously, the knights step closer, the echoes of battle still lingering in their limbs. One of them dares to reach out and touch the chest. A faint creaking sound breaks the silence as the lid slowly begins to open.
Flower Princess approaches the chest and peers inside. He discovers 300,000 gold, 250 diamonds, 10 valor seals, 5 potions of purification, 25 free tickets, and 1 crystal of the severed souls. Every knight receives 60,000 gold, 50 diamonds, 2 valor seals, 1 potion of purification, and 5 free tickets. Now it's up to the dice to decide who gets the crystal of the severed souls. Flower Princess rolls a 44. Mad Anthony has rolled a 18. Khmer Warrior rolls a 32. Andarna rolls a 5. God of Thunder has rolled a 25. Flower Princess wins the crystal of the severed souls.
As the twins fall, an unnatural silence settles over the ghost cliffs. No whisper of wind, no echo of their steps. It's as if the very land is holding its breath. The air remains thick with dark magic, and a faint, eerie murmur drifts through the rocks. Barely more than a whisper, yet enough to plant unease in their minds. The knights have triumphed, but with every step deeper into the cliffs, the weight of uncertainty grows heavier. They know why they are here. To find the Thunderblade, the source of Azrael's dark power, and bring an end to his reign. But was this truly a victory? Or exactly what Azrael wanted? What if they are not the hunters, but the hunted? What if the fall of the twins was not his defeat, but the final piece in his twisted design? The mist thickens. Shadows move at the edge of their vision, shifting just beyond sight. A creeping sense of dread coils around their thoughts. They have survived. But survival alone does not mean they have won. Somewhere in the darkness, Azrael waits, and perhaps he has been waiting right here all along.